A widow whose husband was killed in a crash last spring tonight is calling for change. 64-year-old Scott Miller died when a semi-truck rolled over on Highway 285 outside Conifer in June. The truck driver was released from jail this weekend, but then quickly found himself back in handcuffs. Glad to have you with us this Monday evening. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Jessica Porter. Denver 7 Investigates was there as Ignacio Cruz Mendoza was released from the Jefferson County Detention Center yesterday after serving time for the crash. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were waiting for him. Investigative reporter Natalie Chuck joins us in the studio tonight. You were there as all this unfolded yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, you could see that video right there, right, Shannon and Jessica? At 8:30 yesterday morning, our cameras were rolling as Cruz Mendoza was escorted out by a handful of federal agents and taken to the ICE detention facility in Aurora. We broke the news last summer that Cruz Mendoza was in the U.S. illegally at the time of that fatal crash. I talked to the victim's wife today, now pushing for an overhaul of the trucking industry. Does it feel like it's been a long time or a very short amount of time has passed?
Well, that's a good question. It feels both, honestly.
The last time we saw Deanne Miller was at the Jefferson County Courthouse. 7 months ago, the man behind the wheel of a semi-truck that lost control and killed her husband, Scott, was sentenced to 1 year in jail. Ignacio Cruz Mendoza pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including careless driving resulting in death.
It gets harder every day. Not easier, harder.
Cruz Mendoza was released from jail Sunday morning, then immediately taken into federal custody in the lobby. Denver 7 Investigates was first to report that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement had this man on their radar for years. Cruz Mendoza, a citizen of Mexico, has been deported before, 12 times since 2002. He voluntarily left the country 4 other times.
So if we weren't here, this person would have been released back to the community of Denver.
When I called you before, you had just gotten the news. What was your reaction?
Well, I was happy that ICE did their job, and he's going to be deported because, you know, he doesn't belong in this country. He is here illegally. But at the same time, I had mixed emotions because I know this sounds weird, but I felt sorry for the guy too. You know, he's human, and I just worry about what his life is going to be like now.
Now, Deanne's life is spent fighting for change. Cruz Mendoza did not have a commercial driver's license and was not legally allowed to operate the semi-truck. The Millers made their livelihood running a trucking company themselves. Recently, she testified in Arkansas for stricter regulations for drivers, hoping Colorado and the rest of the country will follow suit.
My ultimate goal is for the federal government to wake up and do their job. Our life was destroyed that day. My husband was killed. And I don't want to see anybody else's family go through that. I don't, just because people put profit over lives. It's ridiculous.
ICE says if Cruz Mendoza is caught entering the country illegally again, he could face up to 20 years in federal prison. Now, as for the laws Deanne is hoping to change, we will be breaking those down for you coming up at 6:30 tonight. Reporting in studio, Natalie Chuck, Denver 7.
Natalie, thank you. Going in depth here, federal regulators shut down the trucking company that Mendoza worked for. Monique Trucking was based in California. The U.S. Department of Transportation says the company was non-compliant with federal safety regulations and was cited with several serious violations. Regulators issued an order last summer declaring the company to be a, quote, imminent hazard to public safety and ordered them to cease all operations immediately. That order could be rescinded if Monique Trucking meets 14 safety standards that includes implementing a controlled substance and alcohol testing program, establishing safety management controls, and periodically inspecting its vehicles.